Hello, my name is Hypnowoman, and I'm here to help you with presence. The unconscious mind, the creativity within us, loves to focus on complexity. When we are creative in matters of complexity, it's amazing what we can accomplish. We need a little momentum. There are two momentums at the moment, and you can tune into either of them. Oh yes, there are many streams of consciousness and many things that mean a lot to you that will take your attention, which you will consciously focus upon, and there are things that you will unconsciously focus upon because you were not aware of how your attention was drawn. So there are moments during the day where you can allow yourself to intentionally focus, to slow down the momentum. Because you see, thoughts have momentum. Issues, people, events, problems, situations hijack your attention, perhaps without you consciously realizing, and it may be long after you've heard the news or overheard someone in the corridor or supermarket or at a distance, maybe, though the attention, your attention, was drawn, and sometimes in quieter moments or even in the hustle and bustle of the day, you ponder upon some unpleasing thought that has captured your attention. Intrusive thoughts. So, if I were you, which I am not, for this is your choice. It's an experiment. If I were you, I would not try to convince anyone of anything right now. I would experiment with presence. Being present, capturing my own attention and focusing upon something, anything that will ease the momentum. I would not want you to try and stop the momentum of thoughts that you have, like a runaway train. The train of thoughts careering down a hill, gaining in momentum by everything that is happening right now. Sometimes like a runaway train down a certain track, your thoughts career, and it would be difficult for you to command them to stop. The train of thought is careering down the track at a rate and speed that is beyond your capability to stop right now. Though what you can do is use a lever, a mechanism, use a way of switching from one track to another. Tracks appear to be going in the same direction to begin with, though as the train progresses, it may slow, it may deviate, it may bend somewhat towards a more positive direction. And positive is an opinion, of course, though if you are careering down a track, if your thoughts are careering down a track to a trajectory that does not please you, then anything other than that will ease the condition. What we are talking about now is ease, a little comfort, because your path of least resistance is what has you focused right now. The path of least resistance. Your path of least resistance is what has you focused. And maybe that is to join in with everyone else. Some opinions, some people in authority telling you how things are, that may create anger, worry, anxiety within you, of course. So your energetic expression of that knowledge may be that your energetic expression is that you need to do something about this, the world says. You jump on board the train, consciously or unconsciously. It may be your way of doing something about this. However, it's time to experiment with presence. It's time to focus. I call it the hocus pocus of focus. Intentionally, consciously choosing to focus away from that which causes angst, anxiety, worry, focusing upon something that you can control, that you feel more power within. Powerlessness causes such angst. And some people that feel powerless, their energetic expression of that powerlessness is anger. Most people do not want to feel powerlessness. So in a strange way, it's more powerful, it's more energetic, it's more enlivening to be angry, to be worried, to be anxious, to be doing something, even if it's only here, to do something about what's going wrong. But it won't help you and it won't help them to get into a strong conversation with them on social media or face to face, because they may accuse you of pie in the sky, wishful thinking. Well, wishful thinking is what has already created all the wonderful things that man has made in the world, all the machinery, all the technology, all the wisdom, all the information available on the internet, all the wisdom and all the rubbish that you sift and sort through with your unique presence. Your presence. Everything that has gone before has come to serve you now, here in the present moment, not yearning for yesterday, nor tensing for tomorrow. You are here. You are present. Humans, for the most part, have been focused on what we can see, what we can hear, what we can taste, what we can smell, what we feel. But there is a vibrational reality which is just as real. And whilst it is not something that you can see or feel or touch or taste or smell, it is something that you can sense. It's what your emotional guidance system is constructed of. When you are not tuned to your own emotional well-being, you are being led by the environment and by others within it, well-intentioned or not. This is what I believe. Let me convince you so that you join me in that belief and we can both console each other. But there is a gap between where you are and where you want to be, and yet focusing upon where you are right now, particularly if you are in a bad mood or on a negative train of thought, will only perpetuate the condition, it will only increase the momentum. Thoughts are magnetic, you know this, because sometimes you have a mildly negative thought, something goes wrong in your reality, it's not what you expected. That thought attracts other things from the past that have gone wrong. I knew this would happen, don't you know? I remember when. In order to slow the momentum, in order to divert the train of thought, this is what you do. Notice where you are. Line up with where you are and think about what you would rather be happening right now. Stop judging, stop comparing, stop taking notes of where you are with where you want to be and how they should be and how they cannot be and how it's all changed and the restrictions imposed upon you. All the whispers and screams of the negative ego. Your thoughts are not you, and you can take back control. So whilst the train is careering in this negative direction, these intrusive thoughts will almost not allow you to be positive. There is just too much momentum. So to create some kind of interruption or more of a diversion of these intrusive thoughts, you need a little help. We all do. And with practice, it becomes easier. With practice, you notice them before they gain too much momentum. So I'd like to remind you right now that when you compare things, when you notice, witness, observe, and compare one thing with another, when you then ignore your own emotional guidance system. You see, your emotional guidance system is there for you to encourage focus into a more pleasing direction, for you to take care of your own train of thought, for you to recognize this is a direction I don't want to be going into. This is unpleasant to me. This is emotionally and physically and mentally and spiritually disturbing to me. This is something that I do not want to be thinking about, and yet I am. I don't want to be on this train. I don't want these intrusive thoughts to invade my waking consciousness. Exercise your right, your birthright, your divine right to be able to focus in a different direction. By being present. Yes, being aware. Yes, being careful. Yes, being present. There is something you can do right now that will yield to you improvement. As tricky as it may sound, at the moment, there is something you can do, something you can experiment with. Hear the word, it's just an experiment. It may be that you experiment when that train isn't going at tremendous speed, though it will even work when you are careering in that direction which is unpleasant. So, noticing where your focus is, you are choosing to recognize the unpleasantness. maybe the necessity, though the unpleasantness of where your thoughts are leading. So with presence, you recognize the momentum that you do want to perpetuate. You are an extension of source energy. You came into this physical realm to observe and interact, to witness. You observe with your physical senses. Naturally, life around you, people, situations, nature, the environment. Through that exposure to this world that you live in, you are automatically creating. The environment activates within you a clarity of wanted and unwanted. When you know what you don't want, you know what you do want, and you may have been calling for these changes for a long time. The thoughts of wanting to feel better continually. Well, people are globally asking like never before to feel better now. What I'd like you to experiment with is choosing to believe. Isn't that interesting? Choosing to believe rather than jumping on the train of what everyone else believes, not consciously, mostly unconsciously. Beliefs are built and structured from experience, from exposure to other ways of thinking and being, other people's ways, and then your ways. Someone suggested that you have realized to your surprise quite often that this is right. This is an improved way. Beliefs are thoughts you just keep thinking that become concretized in your belief system. Beliefs can soften. You know when you recognize you've been believing a particular thing for such a very long time, and though maybe it doesn't serve you, it's become so ingrained that you haven't experimented with another way of behaving and being. It's often through exhaustion that we finally allow ourselves to release that momentum. So here is a new way, here is a different way, here is an experiment for you. Hear the word, it's an experiment, a slowing down of momentum and focusing in a slightly different way, switching the train track. It appears to be the same direction to begin with, though as the train progresses, it begins to veer off in an improved condition, one way or another, though not straight ahead where it was going to before. You might say, I don't want this vibrational shift, Jenny. I don't want this fictitious deviation of thought. I want the concrete reality that I am in to change significantly to make me feel better. It begins with thought, and maybe thoughts, with worrisome thoughts, intrusive thoughts, things that cause you to feel uncomfortable, though when you let go, positivity will bob right back up again. When you're not focused upon worrisome thoughts, you may not want to hear this right now because there is lots for you to worry about that you can't do anything about anyway. You may want to worry continually anyway. At some point you will sleep, at some point you will dream, at some point you will just be so tired that you don't really want to continue on the train anyway. So this is experimenting with changing things. Anyway, replenishing thoughts. Your point of attraction is in the present moment. Being present right now, feeling pure, positive energy, which is raining down all around you. You just have to tune into it, open up to it. You may be sitting in a room with a clock, or with rain raining down the window, or maybe the hum of an air conditioner. Something boring, like the rain, like a clock, like a hum, like your own breath, like a regular tap. You can initiate. Allow yourself to breathe. Allow yourself to focus on something steady, something constant, something that does not require judgment or opinion, something you can feel, something that is not interesting, without much momentum. If you do it earlier in the process, before the momentum takes hold, it is easier, before your mind gets focused on other things. Recognize how people have cheered you up in the past by distracting you, how you've distracted yourself sometimes. Yes, the worries are still there and it's very valid, though there is something else more interesting over here that might captivate your attention. It was easier to do when you were a child. But when your mind now is full of momentum, it can be so tricky to swap from one track to another. So slow the momentum down and you focus upon something constant, something boring, something that you can find all-consuming. Simply tapping in a rhythmic motion on your knee. Be completely absorbed with the repetitive, uninteresting sound or feeling. A dripping tap. Oh, that's good. Initiate a sound, a point of focus, a flickering light. So people say they may not be comfortable with hypnosis, though I will say you've already been hypnotized. It's time to take back control and de-hypnotize yourself. Focus on something that is singular, such as your breathing. Allow it to slow down, in and out. Focus on the gentle rise and fall of your own body. Give your full attention to that and only that. What you will discover is that you get better and better at releasing thoughts. In the same way as you can focus now on breathing out more than you're breathing in. Breathing out twice as long as it takes you to breathe in. So you're taking in from the world less and you're breathing out more. I'm not going to tell you how to breathe, just breathe out twice as long as it takes you to breathe in, which means your breathing might be deeper and slower, more effective. Breathe out twice as long as it takes you to breathe in. Count. Your most positive of futures is waiting for you. Yes, it's wishful thinking, though without wishful thinking, how would we have all the inventions that we have? Without wishful thinking, how would we have created such a wonderful life that we live, with all the machinery, with all the adaptations, with all the inventions of today? It begins with wishful thinking. What you truly wish for. Close your eyes and just feel what your inner being is feeling. Be present. At first your feelings will be emotional, of course, and maybe what you're calling for is ease, relief. Maybe you'll feel some movement. Your inner being may direct movement. You may be a clear recipient of it. You may just want to move towards the rhythm of what your inner being is offering. Maybe you just want to not move, be still. There is no assertion here, there is no coercion. There is only attraction. So if you become one with that point of attraction, of relief, this thing that I want, this calm that I want, this improved condition that I want, well, it's not happening. Why isn't it happening? I want it to be happening. Why is all this bad stuff happening? Focus on what you want. Feel the resistance. That is why you feel the negative emotion. This thing that I want, this improved condition that I want, is not happening. The train is careering in that direction. So you are tuning into that which you want, rather than that which is happening now. Tune into that which you want. I want to be calm, 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 I want to be calm. I want things to change, I want to be calm. It begins with how you feel. Your inner being stands where all of your solutions are, leading through the path of most allowing, of least resistance. There is no right or wrong way, just acknowledge, and do not think too hard. Just be easy in your focus. The momentum of your alignment will increase. The momentum of your alignment will increase. You are switching from one track to another. The train is switching from one track to another. Sometimes it's very interesting when life causes you to focus, because it causes you to do more deliberately what you came here to do. You are a powerful creator. You are pure, positive energy in this physical body. You are a magnificent creator, and you are able to switch focus from one track to another.